On June 8, 2025, Madrid's Plaza de España became the epicenter of a massive protest, drawing national and international attention. The square, usually bustling with daily life, was transformed into a sea of people united by a single purpose. Tens of thousands gathered, not for celebration, but to demand change from Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez's socialist government. The atmosphere was charged with urgency and determination. Organized by the Conservative People's Party, the protest aimed to show the depth of frustration with the current leadership. Crowd estimates ranged from 45,000 to over 100,000, but the packed square left no doubt about the protest's scale. Red and yellow Spanish flags filled the air, creating a striking symbol of unity and resistance. The protest was fueled by months of growing political tension. Many felt unheard, frustrated by concerns over corruption, transparency, and the future of Spanish democracy. The slogan, "Mafia or Democracy," captured the deep mistrust toward those in power and the urgent call to defend democratic values. Protesters accused the government of corruption, demanding accountability and justice. However, the day was not without incident. According to official reports, police responded to over 30 incidents involving rioters, with 17 people sustaining minor injuries, mostly from scuffles and crowd surges. Emergency services treated several for distress and dehydration on site. Property damage was limited but notable, with at least 12 storefronts and public fixtures vandalized during the height of the unrest. The sense of distress was palpable, as both protesters and bystanders navigated tense moments amid the calls for change. For many, this was more than a protest. It was a passionate stand for democracy and a demand to be heard. If you found this deep dive insightful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Smarto Brains, and follow us for more in-depth explorations into sociology, economics, and social policy. Your support helps us bring you more stories that matter. The message in Madrid was unmistakable. Sánchez must go. The city rang with chants for change as thousands, young and old, students, workers, families, came together, united by frustration and urgency. Signs like "Sánchez traitor" and "Sánchez resign" captured the crowd's anger, reflecting a deep sense of betrayal by the government. Protesters demanded immediate elections, believing only a new vote could restore democracy and give citizens a real voice. Recent scandals shattered public trust. Many saw new elections as the only way to bring back honesty and accountability. Demonstrators called for transparency, integrity, and leaders who put the country first. The slogan, "Mafia or Democracy," summed up their fear that corruption had become the norm. Spanish flags filled the crowd, turning the protest into a patriotic call to defend national values. Marching toward government buildings, protesters demanded to reclaim Spain's future from a corrupt administration. Their demand was clear: a fresh start for Spanish democracy and a government that truly listens. Begoña Gómez, Prime Minister Sánchez's wife, is under court investigation for alleged influence peddling and business corruption. The case centers on her university program and claims she secured deals with companies holding government contracts. The complaint, filed by the right-leaning group Manos Limpias, is viewed by Sánchez's supporters as politically motivated. Sánchez paused his duties for 5 days, ultimately vowing to fight what he calls a smear campaign. The investigation keeps the scandal in the headlines, fueling opposition attacks and public distrust. The socialist government faces a series of scandals, including the high-profile Koldo case. A former minister's aide is accused of profiting from pandemic mask contracts, triggering major resignations. Prime Minister Sánchez's brother is also under investigation after a complaint from Manos Limpias. These cases fuel allegations of corruption at the highest levels. Leaked audio recently revealed attempts to obstruct police investigations. The official involved resigned, intensifying claims of mafia tactics within the government. The opposition's warnings about declining ethics are gaining traction. With each new revelation, pressure on the government mounts. People's Party leader Alberto Núñez Feijóo seized the moment, delivering a forceful speech. He accused Sánchez's government of mafia practices and demanded a revolution of decency and freedom. The PP's strategy: keep scandals in the spotlight and push for early elections. Former PP prime ministers joined, signaling unity and experience. Feijóo framed the fight as a choice between law and favoritism. The PP wants to prove their moral standing and distance themselves from past scandals. Their message: only a new government can restore Spain's democratic honesty. Prime Minister Sánchez and his government have forcefully pushed back, calling the accusations a coordinated campaign to undermine their legitimacy and destabilize Spain's political landscape. Sánchez insists these attacks are part of a broader strategy to discredit his leadership and erode trust in democratic institutions. He claims the real aim is to remove him from office through a barrage of false accusations, weaponizing the justice system for political gain, rather than pursuing any fair legal process. Sánchez dismisses the case against his wife as a setup by far-right groups, specifically questioning the motives of Manos Limpias, the organization behind the complaint. He argues their actions are about advancing a political agenda, not justice. The government frames itself as defending democracy against those seeking to undermine it, presenting their stance as a safeguard for Spain's democratic principles. Ministers have downplayed the protests, sharing selective images on social media to suggest limited public support for the opposition and maintain an image of stability. The socialists have countered by highlighting the Popular Party's own corruption scandals, shifting attention to their rivals' past misdeeds. Their strategy? Create confusion, cast doubt on the opposition's motives, and keep the public focused on their policy achievements. Ultimately, the fight is about shaping public perception. Both sides know that in today's media-driven world, controlling the narrative is as crucial as the facts themselves. The People's Party faces its own scandals. The Gürtel corruption case toppled their government in 2018. They're also criticized for their response to deadly Valencia floods. Madrid's regional president, Isabel Díaz Ayuso, faces ongoing scandals. Her partner is accused of tax fraud linked to pandemic mask contracts, a controversy echoing the socialists' own troubles. The deaths in care homes during the pandemic further damaged the PP's image. These issues let the socialist call the PP's attacks hypocritical. The result, a fierce political battle, with both sides claiming moral high ground. Polls reveal a divided Spain, with the PP narrowly ahead of the socialists. Yet, Sánchez remains the most popular leader, outpacing Feijóo in approval. The PP targets Sánchez, while he calls the attacks unfair. Undecided voters face a flood of scandals and counter-scandals. The government accuses the opposition of exploiting the chaos. The PP hopes the scandals stick. The outcome hinges on which narrative prevails. For now, voters remain split and uncertain. Both sides intensify efforts, knowing perception is everything. The stakes for Spain's future couldn't be higher. The June 8th protest revealed deep divisions in Spain. The country is polarized, with little room for dialogue. Scandals have put intense pressure on Sánchez, raising the stakes for his government. If investigations deepen, calls for his resignation may become unstoppable. The political climate is growing more confrontational. Legislative gridlock and public doubt threaten Spain's democracy. The nation stands at a turning point, with its future shaped by investigations and public opinion. Whether this leads to change, collapse, or stalemate will define Spain for years. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow Smarto Brains for more content on Spanish politics, society, and the forces shaping our world.